Hi everyone, this is Raymund and welcome to my podcast where we explore the wisdom of those around us. Welcome to another episode here in Budapest. I would like to interview my friend and colleague, professional colleague of mine, Raymund Prins, about his approach to life, business, maybe doing some comparison, and I would like to give him some tricky questions, maybe to inspire other people. So Raymund, can you tell us very briefly what do you do, what company you have, and then we can follow?
Okay. Well, as you know, I'm running a translation company in the Netherlands, in Groningen, in the northern part of the country. I run that company for over 20 years now, and we are in a transition to a new management style, which actually shouldn't be management at all, because it's about what people can do by themselves more than we think most of the time. And since over 2.5 years now, we are trying to change the way we run the company. So when I say I run the company, of course I'm not running the company, because the people are running the company.
We will come back to this topic, definitely.
Okay.
And then tell us more about your sport activities. What do you do? And also, don't be shy and tell us about something about your achievement last weekend. The latest one.
Yeah. Of course. I won't be shy. I'm proud of it. A bit surprised too that I managed to win the competition in my age group, with a long distance age group of the national championship in the Netherlands.
Duathlon?
In the Duathlon, yes. A bike run over 10k, 60k, 10k. A bit surprised because I actually didn't think that I would be able to win, as I knew there were some good competitors who achieved already something in the duathlon sport.
Yeah. Maybe give us some comparison to what you can compare it with in a real life, in personal life.
And I think the comparison with life or business would be that I think that, contrary to what I used to do in the company, was focusing on revenue and margins and gains. And what I think would be much better, and that's what we try to do now, is focusing on the process rather than the end result. Like in a race, of course, before the race, I checked what my competitors can do, what they have done in the last years. So I knew about which time would be winning. And that's the same in business. You look, of course, at the end result. You have an agreement with a client, and you have to look at that. There are these goals are set, and you have to comply with that. But instead of only thinking about this
and limiting yourself with this approach, because as I understood, I think when you are too much focusing on the goal and achievement, then you are limiting yourself from enjoying the path and maybe achieving better results.
It's certainly also about enjoying what you're doing, and I think that's the main difference. Because I think when you are only busy with achieving that result, you forget about what you actually do. And I think that when comparing it to business, I think mistakes are easily made when you're only busy with the end result. and you're not thinking about what you're actually doing at this very moment.
Mhm.
It goes in both ways.
Mhm.
Like enjoying what you are doing, and if you are enjoying, you will do your work better.
Mhm. Mhm. But tell me, because it's easy to say, don't focus on the final result and enjoy it. This is easy to give somebody that information, but do you have any specific tricks what to focus on? Okay, I can't think about the final result, so what should I think on?
Comparing this with work, it's like you already said, it's actually the same. It's about technique. It's about we do have ISO procedures and all that kind of stuff. Those are important things.
And you can improve it every day, and your technique is never perfect, and you can improve it. Maybe what I remember when I was training hard, I was making notes how I did in that specific workout, and I did some evaluation at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month to be better. And I was also comparing those feelings with results and numbers, and I realized I'm doing the same, or it's maybe good to do the same in my private life. How I feel when I don't breakfast, how I feel when I breakfast too much, how I feel when I breakfast with my family. And this is just a very small example.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you agree?
I certainly agree. I think that measurements have to be made, but I also think that you have to be careful with it, because making conclusions based on those measurements, I'm not sure if that will always be the right thing to do. Would actually focus on, and that's what I'm trying to do in the company too, is using those training and coaching methods to practice it in the company, and that actually means that you're using the competencies and capabilities and talents of your people to improve by you and I, we are rather seasoned in this work, and we can help our people to improve on the talents that they already have. Like with sports, you use talents and you can improve it by training. And I think in business it's quite the same, using our procedures and focusing on the things that we have to do, rather than thinking about how much are we going to gain with it, how much are we going to win with it, focusing on improving our skills and talents. I think for nearly 20 years I did the wrong thing in the company.
What do you mean doing wrong thing?
Asking for my people to, or at least not preventing them from working too hard. They have to decide for themselves what they, how and what they do in the company to achieve whatever results that we will have. I don't know, but I'm pretty confident that it will work out good. It became clear to me that what I was doing, what I had done those 20 years, that I should stop with it, stop managing the company like that. Nobody knew better than I what had to be done.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a bit extreme the way I put it now. So
Yeah,
extreme it wasn't, but it's basically
extreme, but it's like 99% of all companies and style of management, and at least what I hear from my friends and peers. So I think this is very good that you realize that, and you started to do some changes, and I can imagine you can turn around and You can't change everything in 1 week. It takes time.
No, it takes years actually.
Yeah.
It takes years, Roman. Yeah, it takes years. And that's not a bad thing. It's okay. It takes years and it costs a lot of money. But I think it will be worth in the end. And I can see now that we have decided that, well, we build it small teams of max 7 people, and those teams are responsible for their own work and they make their own decisions. When they want to hire someone to help them, then they do that. We hate the word manager, even escalation. We do hate.
You don't use it?
No escalation. No, because escalation means that someone that's higher than you will solve your problems. And that's not what we want to do, because it's not that they have to solve their own problems. They have to make the decisions that don't cause problems.
So it doesn't mean you don't have problems?
Of course not.
It means that everybody has to solve it by their own, and they don't.
Always in a team. Always in a
team. In a team.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. In team, that's important because we don't want someone to have a problem on its own. Well, of course, you have a personal responsibility, but when you are in a small team, you can learn from each other. You can help each other. But that's also a development that takes time to develop this and to cope with that.
And why 7 people?
It's a bit randomly chosen, but not totally. We know from experiences from other companies that there is a limit, and actually some say 5, others say 7, others say 9, or even 20. But the fact is, there is a limit. I can compare it to the period before this change. We tried to make decisions together with 30 people. Impossible. You know what happens? There are a few people that speak up, that protest or take initiative, and the others don't do anything. So it's all about a few people, and you actually forget that everybody has something to say, but not everybody can do that in a big group. But when they are in a small group together, they really work together, and everybody is involved, and they all take initiatives. You shouldn't forget that a lot of people are maybe too shy or whatever, you know. They don't feel comfortable speaking in a large group, but they do in a small group. So you're missing out on them and on their talents, and on their initiatives, on their intelligence. If you make decisions also in large groups. So that's the reason for small groups to work with.
And what about company strategic decisions? Then you like give it to each group and then compare it, or how you do this?
Well, you know, a lot of decisions are made on specific topics. Let's say strategic is like in our business, you know, that IT is very important in that. But we already had a IT team, so those decisions are partly made in that team. As far as others are concerned, they have to be involved, of course, and it's always possible to build a team for a specific topic, temporary. So, like for a few months. A few months, you build a team with all people who are involved, or some representatives of other teams, and you talk with them, and it's always like 4 or 5 or 6 people. And then decisions that are made or prepared are always shared with the others. And
how?
Well, if you build a team and you have representatives from other teams, they will report back to their teams, and you will get feedback from those teams, get back to this group, this team that's working on it. And on the other hand, some strategic decisions are maybe not actually made for other teams, or they are not involved, or they don't have any impact from that. If that's the case, it doesn't matter. Then you know, if there is no impact on someone else, they don't have to be involved. Why should they? There's no impact. But when there is impact, of course, everybody has to be involved. Actually, we are still developing this system, but it's something like this. It runs like it runs along small teams, and decisions have to be. You know, there must be a base that everybody is comfortable with it and supports it.
Is there somebody coordinating those groups from your position, or is somebody else, or it's just natural process?
I'm not sure. You know, I don't think so, because people are working together and know actually on what topics they have to work together. A production team needs support from the VM team, but also the other way around. So they know where they can find each other. So nobody has to say that they have to do something together.
So let's sum it up. We are both triathletes, and we like, or we don't like, transitions. We love to enjoy the race. We don't focus on the result, but still there must be some plan. We need a team to support that track, to stay on the right track. We need to give them some autonomy. It should be something what is not told, but what is natural for them. Sometimes they are forming different groups, different teams, different bubbles. And the thing is, we all should enjoy it, and the results will come just naturally. Do you agree?
It sounds beautiful, Roman. But I don't think that results will come naturally. Like I said before, you have an idea about where you want to go, but the main difference is actually that it's not that you set this goal like we want to have 15% net margin. I did that. I set it for 10 years or something like that. You know.
Me as well.
Yeah, yeah. And did you have it every time?
No.
Did you get what you?
No.
No, you didn't, because you can't.
Yeah.
What you do, you set something, even the revenue. You know, you do this.
I feel we can
There's something.
have this goal. I can confirm. I did the same. I was setting the goals and targets, and I also tried to apply different approach to involve everybody.
Yeah.
From the scratch, we did the planning together, and I realized I don't have to approve anything. I was scared. You have to be bold. You have to be very brave to do this. That's the point. If you, I think, more you are scared, you are afraid, then you tend to do this what we both did, to set the goals and you know, be the king. Yeah. and the boss. And
I remember that in 2007. This was the first time that I made a 3-year prediction. But I didn't do it on my own. I gathered some people from the company together, and we sat together and talked for a few days during 3 months or so. And we sat together with a coach, and we talked about goals, etc., etc., etc. And as a result of those conversations, I decided it's now 2007. In 2010, we will have we didn't have we have less than 1 million euros in the company. So I said in 2010 we will have 1 million euros.
Can you imagine those feelings from the other side, from your team, from your people, and could you imagine their motivation? Like, yeah, he's telling this, okay, so we will try to do this, we will do our job, we will get the payroll, and now when they set the goal, it's like their own. They are working. It's like they are having their own company, and how much passion they have about the work, and how much they are motivated. I think that's the difference between these two approaches.
Yeah, I agree. And it's not about the goals that are set. You know, I think it's good that the teams talk to each other about what are we going to do this year, and that they attach numbers to those thoughts.
Yeah.
That's perfectly okay. But then actually, you should immediately forget those numbers and get back to what do you want to do, with whom do you want to work, and then I think maybe once per 3 months or so look at, or maybe once per month, I don't know, look at what have we done, and are we okay with that?
Yeah, and ask those questions. Are we on the right track? You know, and
but what's the track? I'm not sure about that. You know, it's actually more like we are with this team, and are we performing good? Are we satisfied with what we are doing? First of all, are the clients satisfied?
Yeah.
That's something very important, of course. And then look at each other. Are we satisfied with what we are doing? We have some challenges still. You know, there is a team where 1 or 2 are really having a lot of overtime, and actually nobody can explain why. They can't themselves. The team can't. So we have a problem there, and they have to talk about it and solve something. In the older days, I would have gone to that team and to someone who's having this overtime and say, "Come on, what's your problem?" And now they have to do it themselves. They talk to each. I couldn't solve that. I never solved those problems. Never. And if they can't solve it, nobody can. They're the only ones that can solve that problem. One of the things that I really want to develop within the company. You can make these mistakes, but you should admit it, and nobody has to laugh. Yeah, you can laugh, of course, but there is no punishment. There's no nothing. You can make mistakes, but we should always be open about it.
So let me wish you not to make too many mistakes or serious mistakes, and to have luck with further development of this self-management system. And thanks for sharing all the details. And thanks for coming.
It was my pleasure, Roman.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Raymund. Thanks for listening to this interview. This podcast is about sharing the inspirational sides of people we know, in the hopes that it motivates you to explore yours. If you like it, feel free to share it and let us know. And if you don't, we would love to hear why.